Welcome to the Tough Luck Podcast.
I'm Lily.
I'm Megan. Nice to see you again. Yeah. And we just recorded one of our other podcasts.
Yeah, we're doing a back-to-back today.
Doing back-to-back. And so, but for today's topic, we wanted to talk about how nature has impacted us.
Absolutely. And and we're like outside right now, you know, and this beautiful weather, beautiful breeze coming through, and Megan even said, she was like, I've just been spending so much more time outside, and it feels more like spiritual, you know.
It does.
When we spend time outside. And like sometimes after I go through like a really busy day or like a really overstimulating day or something, or I've just been inside all day, like that feeling of just like putting my feet in the dirt is like, I don't know, so necessary and so spiritual. Sometimes I'm like, I just have to get outside and put my feet in the dirt, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because, there's just so much information in the earth, you know? We have so much to learn from her, and she's got so much to say, and,
Yeah. It's like the communication between us and the rest of nature is so rich, and it gives such life-changing information. And I know every time, so when I did my master class for our yoga teacher training, it was very inspired to me, like I knew it was going to be tree themed.
Yeah.
And I remember asking the class, everybody close your eyes and envision a tree. And when you see this tree, it could be a real life tree that you see every day, or it could be one that's just in your head. And I had everybody close their eyes and envision that tree. And then it reminded me of how we have trees of relationships and how trees are interconnected, just like us as humans, we're interconnected as well. And
she's got her little tree earrings in
today
too.
Oh. Thank you, Kira, for this earring. Cute. It's the second time I brought Kira up. I'm like, shoot, I need to call her.
Literally.
But I'm like, this is how it is.
Aww. Little tree earrings.
Little tree earrings. I know. I found them. I'm like, I love them.
Trees are so wise. Yeah. And when I go on like my little walks in the forest and stuff, sometimes like whenever the trees like crack, I always feel like they're talking to me or have something to say, like if they ever like creak and stuff, usually like in the wind. I always just like feel like they're talking to me, and I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy, maybe I'm not, I don't know, but I think life's just more fun when you find like spirituality or meaning in like those little things. Like sometimes I'll be like leaving the forest and the trees all of a sudden start like creaking and cracking at me. I'm like, oh, like goodbye forest, you know. Aww. Thanks for everything. And I don't know, just even like talking to nature. I love just talking and just like looking. I feel like there's so many like small things in nature that we never like really notice in our hustle and bustle that I just really enjoy like taking the time to like really listen and hear and watch.
What do you notice when you're there?
I don't know, like man, the last time I was in the woods, I was sitting under this, like on top of this big rock under these trees and stuff, and I've been having a lot of crows in my life recently, and like crow's always been my spirit animal and stuff, but like recently I've had and been seeing a lot of crows chasing hawks, and like that's a big thing in nature, like crows chase hawks away, like it's a normal thing, but I've just been experiencing it a lot. And just, like, seeing, like, even when I'm not, like, taking my time out in nature and I'm, like, driving around, I'll see crows chasing hawks. So it's been, like, and that could be something that, like, just goes over somebody's head if you're just, like, you know, like, going around, like, driving or whatever. But whenever I see a crow, for me, it's like, oh, my God, there's a crow. You know, this means something. Wow. And so the last time I'm in the forest, I'm sitting on this big rock under these trees, and this crow comes up. And it's just, like, lands on the tree right above me. And then this crow makes a triangle over top of me, just, like, hopping around the trees. Like, making a triangle over top of my head. And, like, that, I don't know. Then when I get home, I'm Googling, like, like what, like, you know, the spiritual meaning of crow and triangles and, like, I don't know, crows chasing hawks and, like, all these things. And I feel like when I notice things in nature like that, I'll always go straight to Google and be like, what is the spiritual meaning of this? And I think that's a little stupid, honestly, that I do that, because maybe sometimes, like, I don't know, like, I feel like we go to Google for all the answers, and I feel like whenever I also Google stuff, it always just, like, I did this earlier today. What did I Google earlier when I was sitting with you? Like, I Googled, I probably have it right here.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries. Things are just going over our head today.
I seem to be not remembering as much.
No, it's not even in my Google search anymore, but I totally Googled something earlier, like, what's the spiritual meaning behind this, and I don't know, I've been getting a little exhausted of just, like, just Googling what I think things mean, and then I feel like it always comes up with, like, the same thing almost every time, just, like, reworded differently.
Sure.
So I feel like just, like, taking our time to really,
go within,
you know, and maybe just, like, even just, like, feeling in our body, like, what nature's trying to tell us, instead of just, like, I've always been that way, like, going to Google for the answers and stuff.
I'm the same way.
And,
I get that.
Yeah, and it's, like, spirituality, I feel like, is never black and white, you know?
Right.
And it's always, I feel like, intuitive.
Right. Yeah. I know. I was talking to my therapist about, I think the number 8 is so prevalent in my life, just because I was born on 8/8, and I've been seeing 888 more recently, which I feel more connected to just who I am versus, like, the true definition.
Yeah.
And I asked her, I'm like, well, you know, it says it's more about abundance and stuff, but she thinks that she has the opinion too that it even changes within minute to minute. Like, it's even a flick of a switch, and then it's like, oh, it did change its meaning. And the way that I view, like, spending time in nature and having that, trying to notice signs of, like, hey, is universe, God, talking to me?
Yeah.
I just notice how much, oftentimes, you know, that I'm looking something from outside of myself as well. I have the same, I think a lot of people have that problem where they look outside of themselves for the answer.
Right.
But really, we actually know the answer. It's just more looking within and having that reflection time. And I think too, it's cool to think about, you know, maybe what the true meaning is in a spiritual sense online, because it's a little bit like, it gives you a clue maybe as to what it is, or a structure, because sometimes we could be within our heads a little too long. And
for sure.
I spend a lot of times searching for the answers, trying to find things, and that helps me develop my meaning for things. But then after a certain point, like you said, the same result comes up. Maybe that's a sign that it's time to look from within and research within yourself. Like, maybe it's not research, but just search within yourself and go within. And I remember when I would do tarot readings, I used the book. Like, I would search within the book that they give you for the answer. And I always thought to myself, like, I'm not a very structured, I am structured, but when it comes to spirituality, I try not to be as structured, because, like, it is so, like, it's a communication from the other side.
Right.
And so when I'm communicating, and I do that within nature too, and I'm communicating within nature, it's not necessarily something that has been written before. This is possibly a brand new creation that has never been seen by man, and it's something else that I
Right.
couldn't have thought of within a million years. So just, I think we're limiting ourselves, is what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say.
absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
And even, like that symbolism of like crow chasing hawk,
Yeah.
like intuitively it feels like, like a protection kind of thing. Like, because crow feels like my spirit animal and she's defending herself from an attacker or whatever.
Yeah.
So like it's so easy for me to be able to like pick that apart intuitively. So why am I like immediately going to the internet for answers? Like the internet knows what I'm going through at that time, or
Yeah.
when in reality, I'm sure spirit, God, universe, whatever does know what I'm going through and is just sending me this message, and it's just like, hey, like just look and listen. And but maybe sometimes like Google feels good for like validation, to like validate like that intuitive feeling that you're having. And even like sometimes when I do pull tarot cards, like I'll try to intuitively read it first, and then I'll be like, okay, what does the book say now? Like, was I right? Or even though like our intuition, I feel like, is always
even that
right.
language of right.
Exactly.
Thinking about that myself.
Right.
Like, and that's not to say anything about it being wrong, right, or whatever, but it is, I think,
because I don't think anything is wrong or right.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just kind of, well, especially with spirituality.
Right.
I think there's probably definites within the world, but I do believe that in terms of spirituality, in terms of what's the best answer for my question,
yeah,
it's like, we do already have that, but we're just curious more or less on outside perspectives, probably because we have lack of trust within ourselves, I guess. There's possibly, or
that's
trust
exactly
within the other side, that the other side's got our back.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's hard, but I mean, it's hard to jump ship, especially, I know, I was talking to a friend of mine. Her name is also Megan, and she's also your friend too.
Absolutely. Love you, Megan. Call out to Megan.
Love you, Megan. Love you.
Number one supporter.
Yeah, she
real.
really is. She really is. And gosh, like, just the best human. She's, super, super sending love to you.
All the love to her.
All the love. And she has this perspective that, oh gosh, I'm losing it. Yikes.
It's okay.
It'll come.
We'll pull her on the podcast someday.
It'll circle around.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was telling me about, she did this thing in her, basically her yoga classes, that she was she was having everybody do lotus, and then essentially sending love through her like fingertips to people that you love.
Yeah.
And then she would put it in here and saying, give it back to yourself. And when that happened, I did it with her.
Yeah.
When it happened, it helped me, because I was like, oh, I'm putting that love back in, and it's the same exact love that I just gave to somebody else. Like, that shocked me somehow. And when we do have, I think sometimes that goes the same with trust.
Absolutely.
Like, I trust so many other people before my own opinion.
Yeah.
And I have this sense of like, oh, okay, this person really does have the best interest of heart, but also, I know what I know myself.
Yeah.
And I do know I have my best interest at heart as well. And if you mess up and you know, it's not the right answer, it's not because you didn't have your best interest at heart, but it's often something else that has something, there's something else outside of you that maybe has you questioned and everything. But really, I think too, you're allowed to change your opinion once you talk to somebody, but if you're doing it all the time, maybe think about that and think about, okay, is it really that they had the better option, or is it because I don't really have that faith in what I have to offer or what I have to think about?
Yeah, I definitely get that, and I definitely feel like I'm somebody who does need like validation from other people when I'm like trying to like
Yeah.
like have an idea or something I really want to do or something, and usually I'll tell people, I'll be like, hey, like this is like something I'm thinking about or whatever, but I'm like looking for validation. You
Yeah.
know, I'm like actively like searching for validation. That's why I'm like telling you, that's my point of like bringing up this conversation, is because I like feel like I just need that, and I feel like that way I'm not only letting them know, but I'm also like almost like telling myself that too, like this is what I feel, but I just need other like I need to hear other people's opinions, and that way I feel like I'm establishing that truth inside myself, and then it kind of gives you that barrier for that feedback instead of just like internalizing their feedback all the time, like just being like, hey, I'm actively looking for validation right now, like validate me or don't, like, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's hard because then I think too, like, oftentimes I don't make final decisions without
Yeah.
talking to someone or consulting,
Yeah,
which I think
same.
is smart. I think
Same, yeah.
it's a good thing, but there are times where it's so little, like the decision is so small,
Right.
and I'm really overthinking it. And I'm
Right.
like, I couldn't just have made this on my own.
Right. Right.
Like, did I really need to pull this, like, going around, and like, did I really need to go outside of myself and
Right.
have this whole outside conversation with someone else when really I'm just kind of.
But sometimes it just
Yeah.
feels good. It
Yeah,
just feels
it's
good
just
for
validating.
someone to hype you up and
Yeah.
help you out, and like that I feel like is necessary, because I feel like we're really taught to doubt ourselves and to like doubt this like intuition that we have, you know, because I feel like you get this like gut feeling like right here when something feels right or wrong, but it's just like, I don't know, learning to trust that feeling almost inside of our bodies. Sometimes it's not even up here in our head, you know, sometimes that feeling is within our bodies already, and trusting
Beautiful.
that, you know.
Yeah, it's that.
It's hard.
What is that? Sacral
Yeah.
or solar plexus?
Solar plexus.
Solar
yeah.
plexus.
I feel like it's like right here, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, solar plexus.
It's not always easy.
I'm wondering what the color is of solar
Yellow.
plexus. Yellow. Yeah, because, well, I have been seeing a lot of yellow more recently. That's interesting. There's yellow right there.
Oh.
I've just been seeing more yellow in my life, so that's interesting. Just trust your gut, girl.
Yeah,
you got
for
this. Man, if you start paying attention to things like that, like, oh, what colors am I seeing more of recently?
Yeah.
Maybe that's like maybe it's attributed to your chakra, or
always.
yeah, I never even put that together.
Neither
Isn't
did
that
I.
same? Isn't that crazy? I never thought of that
Yeah, I'm
before.
gonna start thinking about colors more. It's usually like animals or numbers for me, but colors definitely
Maybe this is.
have a lot to say too.
I never thought of that, but
Yeah.
what colors have you seen the most, or are you not sure?
I'm not sure.
I'm like thinking to myself, like, I'd never, for the longest time, the color yellow. So, someone in my life hates the color yellow very much, and does not like yellow. And because they don't like yellow, I always didn't like yellow.
Oh.
Because they didn't. Because I was like, oh yeah, they don't like it, so
why should I?
why should I like it? Everybody hates it. Shoot. But then it turns out, so it's funny because I'm doing this event and we're all supposed to be wearing yellow
Yeah.
at this event.
So you've been buying all
so-
these pretty yellow clothes
Yeah.
and stuff, and
Right.
yeah.
And I'm like, what an amazing color. And
Yeah, it looks so good
Yeah.
on you, for real.
oh, thanks.
Yeah.
It's actually, it's not my my skin tone's too pale for yellow, whatever that means, but I don't even care. I'm like, whatever.
Whatever.
It reminds me of the sun.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of happiness, so
Yeah.
who cares? Who cares? I'm simple. But I just need happiness in my life.
And yellow's so happy.
It's so happy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm never turning happiness down, for real.
Right.
Maybe that is something I need to think of. I just thought about this now. But maybe if you're turning down the color yellow, you're turning down happiness.
Or just your solar plexus in general,
or your solar
which
plexus.
is like confidence.
Yeah. Oh, shoot.
You know, like I feel like solar plexus is very much about.
This is reading me to a T.
Oh, we're reading
It's
Megan
like,
this podcast. We're going to be talking about nature, but nah, we're reading Megan.
I know. This is not even nature. Oh, yikes. I know.
Yeah, so
That's
that
so
inner
funny.
confidence.
That inner confidence.
And sun, like, I feel like is like a representation of confidence and energy and all that, you know?
Man, what a... I never expected to go this deep.
Yeah,
until
literally.
now. I'm like, this is so deep.
Megan was like, I don't have any notes. I was like, we don't need them.
Or here, it's in here.
Yeah,
it's
for
in your
real.
confidence.
Yeah,
it's
for
confidence
real.
in yourself. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, we'll have to see. I'm curious into what colors you start to notice, and then let me know. Maybe we can talk
I'll
about it.
report back.
Report
for
back.
sure.
It's gonna be a while.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's
going
so much
out of town.
There's so much green around us, so I'm like thinking just green right now.
Green?
But, yeah, but green's just
Okay.
my favorite color, though.
What chakra is that? Is that
it's,
heart?
Heart, yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe
There's just like a lot of green, so green's
I
my favorite color.
I just thought
like
it's green today,
there's
but no,
green everywhere, you know. But there's green
green.
everywhere all the time.
But sometimes if you're like just like the yellow thing I was talking about. I mean, I think that you noticing it more is more of what the sign is than it is even like the color itself. Like I pass by green too, and I didn't think of green.
Yeah.
But you just thought of green.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of green.
I
thought of yellow, and there's only one thing in this room that's yellow.
Literally,
So,
but it stood out to you.
It stood out to me.
Yeah.
And then yours is green. So so possibly heart chakra work then maybe.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Yeah, what's heart chakra? I have to think about that. It's like
I feel like my heart
your-
chakra has almost been like overworked recently. I feel like I've just been like overextending myself to a lot of people and overextending my heart space to a lot of people. It gets a little exhausting, you know, but I feel like my heart chakra's also been I feel like I've been working on it because I feel like I've been trying to like spend more time with people that really like fill me up and stuff, and also just like noticing how like spending time with different people makes me feel and how much heart space I want to give them it's like a boundary, you know.
Sure.
Like I've only been seeing Megan once a week, and that's just been like not enough almost. I feel like, you know, it's been like not enough.
I'm like so happy. It made me so happy.
Like it's like I said that when I got here, I was like, oh, like we've only been seeing each other once a week. You're about to go out of town, and I'm like, where's my Megan time? You know, Megan time always fills me up. So.
Oh my gosh! Wow! Thank you so much. The same goes for you, Lily. It's we always talk about how this is somewhat like therapy already in the sense of like we just have an open conversation and often we solve each other's problems in the way.
Absolutely. Of just like even talking about stuff, you know, with someone who will like actively listen.
It makes it makes a difference for sure.
Yeah. And
I think too, you know, with that whole sentiment of the green, the heart chakra love, that loving EW energy, I guess it's like maybe it's learning to love yourself, and I don't know, you love yourself though. I know you do.
And
I know
and that
you
goes
do.
with like confidence too, you know. I feel like heart chakra, solar plexus is really like intertwined, you know.
It's so funny, you kind of have like a yellow and I have a green phone.
Oh my goodness,
I didn't realize.
That's just because mine's so dirty.
Mine is too. You can't tell. It used to be more of a bluish green. Now it's just green.
Now it's just green.
But no, it's cool though because I think with notice with these signs that pop up, the things that we pull from the crevices of this world that's so complicated and complex.
Mm-hmm.
But the meaning of things is so personal.
Right.
And
oh, for sure.
it's like,
for sure.
I would never know what green meant to you
until
you told me, and then you have it within yourself. And
Yeah.
I like the yellow thing probably doesn't make any sense for most people, but I do think that it's taking that time, maybe even to journal a little bit, to get into meditation and explore what's within yourself and reap the rewards of this world. Because I think, too, it's a privilege to be able to just pick up on these things. Like,
absolutely.
It's like clairvoyance.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something you should think.
Yeah, for real.
It's information outside, but...
And I was even like talking to this kind of about this with my friends the other day. Just like finding those like little things in the world that like are just like almost too perfect, you know, and like those little signs, little messages, little things. Like I always find a 4-leaf clover whenever I've been seeing Megan recently.
True.
And like I told Megan, I was like I feel like 4-leaf clovers for me are like the sign that like the universe is talking to me or something, or just like it's like a message from spirit for me whenever I find them. And
that's so crazy.
Yeah, so like just like finding those little things, like I could just like find this 4-leaf clover and like think it's like good luck or whatever, but for me it's like a message from the universe, you know, that maybe everything's okay, and that like I just like taking these little things and like making them really big in my life and really spiritual in my life. Like that crow like flying a triangle over my head, like that was like such a little thing but felt like really magical to me. And I think like pulling these tiny things and really like noticing these small interactions with our world, our environment, the people around us, you know, can like just make for a really like magical life, you know. I feel like for our lives don't have to be like big and extravagant for them to be magical. Like I think it's really noticing the small things and like letting them empower us, you know.
Well, cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
My God.
Just pulled that from the ether.
She literally has these moments all the time, and it's just shocking how I'm just a witness. I'm just a witness, and I just heard that firsthand, so, okay.
We didn't have any notes.
I didn't pack notes. I did nothing, so there's nothing okay. Wow. Well, thank you, Lily.
Absolutely.
Thanks
thank you,
for
Megan.
being here, and if you'd like to have your inner clairvoyance
absolutely.
supported.
We didn't mention this in our last podcast.
We didn't. But it's okay. You know what? It's I think that they know where to find us. They'll read the description. And in the next podcast we're doing one that's more of a like giving, well, the one before it's more of like we're donating to a cause.
Absolutely.
So I didn't want to talk. I don't think it would have been the time.
Yeah.
In this one, we're not talking about that.
In this one, watch our videos, and if you notice any colors, any little things that like stand out to you, maybe like let us know. Like make a comment. Let us know if anything's like sticking out to you energetically, even if it's like the smallest little thing. Like we want to hear about it because small things are magical.
It's so true. Oh,
so we have like this whole website or something, you know, that we just like made. It's called like Clairvoyance Yoga or something.
What's that?
You know, like
who are they?
Who are they? I don't know, but we make like yoga videos, and you know, like if you just want to like hang out with us, have a good time, see more of us in action.
Yeah,
we got a
no
website.
Big deal.
So
just you know where to www.clairvoyanceyoga.com.
Just like join our membership for $22 a month.
Ooh,
not bad.
Not too bad.
Not bad for yoga.
You could spend more.
You could spend more. But we're only $22 a month.
Yes.
So
cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for for that, Lily.
Absolutely.
For sure.
I haven't done that yet, so that was kind of fun.
How did it feel?
Pretty
feel
good.
You did good.
Pretty good.
Good work.
Just advertising ourselves a little bit, you know.
Just confident. Yellow.
Confidence. Yellow.
Get that yellow energy.
Absolutely.
Well, guys, cheers again to you, Lily.
Cheers to you, Megan.
And
Mwah. Bye. Bye.